Good morning, Willard Wildcats. Happy Monday, October 12th. We have a birthday to celebrate today. Happy birthday to Kayla N. We hope you have a wonderful birthday on this Monday. Wildcats, we've been talking about communication and appreciation. And today we're going to read a book that I think that you're familiar with, How Full is Your Bucket for Kids by Tom Rath and Mary Reckmeyer and illustrated by Maury J. Manning. And this book is going to talk to us about the power of appreciation and how it can fill our buckets. Not that we all have a real bucket, you might have a bucket, but how it fills that bucket like your heart, how it makes you feel good. How full is your bucket? Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower when his little sister came in. I want to build with you, she said. Felix scowled. Go away, you're too little. How do you think that Felix's little sister is going to feel? She's probably not going to like that. I'm big. Stay back, you'll knock it over. I can be careful. Go play with your baby toys, Anna. How do you think Anna feels? Probably not good. Look at Anna's face. She's really sad, and look what she drew. Thwack. And what did she do? She tore it down, right? Was Felix being kind to Anna? Mm-mm. Grandpa. Grandpa shook his head. Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. But when it's full, she feels great. Didn't you ever notice your own bucket? Invisible bucket. Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking. But the next morning when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating over his head. Do you see the bucket? Do you think he really has a bucket floating over his head? When Felix came down to breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. I've got a meeting this morning and it's almost time to go. Anna, sit still. Have you ever had one of those hectic mornings when you're trying to get out of the house? I know we're not all trying to leave the house right now. Some of us are, but it doesn't make you feel good when you're rushing around, does it? Felix slipped and Choco Wheaties scattered across the floor. Felix, yelled Mom, you should have used the stool to reach that. Felix could feel his bucket tip and big invisible drops spill out. Drip, drip, ha, ha. Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with her shoe. Drip, get the broom and clean this up before you miss the bus, scowled Mom. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the Cocoa Wheaties and grabbed the last blueberry muffin, but before he could even take one bite. Buster jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip, hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one just like it. Drip. So when things happen that you don't like, or when people say mean things, it takes from your bucket, right? That's what we're to learn from this. Psst, Felix, psst. And there's a drip from his bucket. Watch out, Shrimp, drip. So when we say unkind things, it takes from someone else's bucket, right? It was still morning and Felix's bucket was almost empty. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall. He feels that because he's not feeling good, so he's thinking mean thoughts, right? That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. I'm ready for this to turn around in this book. Are you? Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. Bumbernickel walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper he could barely look at. Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class? What do you think that's going to do for his bucket? Maybe rise it? Raise the level? Maybe. Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. Drop, 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 plink. The Gigantosaurus who wanted a pet by me, Felix. The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at the scary parts. When Felix finally read, "The end," everyone clapped, even Emily, who sat next to him and didn't usually like dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. Okay, my question to you, Wildcats, is could you do this for somebody? Could you fill their bucket? Could you show appreciation to a friend, to a teacher, to somebody in your space? Drop. Team captains today are Veronica and Felix. Drop in the bucket. Nice cow. It's a dog. Well, nice colors there, Felix. Drop in the bucket. Cool laser ant backpack, Felix. See, he has a laser ant backpack. That bucket's getting pretty full, isn't it? By afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly full. And I want you to think about that. If you fill somebody else's bucket, I'm wondering how your bucket feels. I want you to try that. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. Drop, drop, let me help. Drop, drop, here's your baseball. Catch, thanks, dude. Drop, drop, I'm Felix. First day? Yes, I'm Amir. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own bucket. So if you're filling somebody's bucket, your bucket gets filled too. I want you to try that out and see how that feels. When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You are right, Grandpa. I do have a bucket and I understand how it works." Then he saw Anna's torn doll. "Bad dog," he almost scolded. But then he thought, dogs might have invisible buckets too. "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her because she's crying." Wah! And look at her bucket. Until then, do you want to help me build the tallest building in the world with my blocks? What do you think that's going to do for Anna's bucket? Fill it up. And so they did. And look at those buckets. Well, Wildcats, I hope that book reminded you of appreciation and how you can show appreciation and being caring to somebody else, somebody in your space, somebody in class, your teacher. Wildcats, remember, we are safe, respectful, and responsible. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on Tuesday where we celebrate I Be Green.